The industry is still on our hearts. That is why every day we go in and out to make sure we give you all the latest and the trending information in our showbiz industry. This is The Real Talk here on Sammy Flex TV, and it is being produced by K-Boy as well as Currency, the digital rasta. I have just one name. Now in Africa and the world over, there is only one story which is trending. The fact that CNN has put out the list of top 10 biggest African artists. And unfortunately, some Ghanaian artists did not appear in that particular list. Our discussion is such that after all the promotion our guys are giving them, after all the support with a huge fan base here in Ghana and maybe beyond it, why did they not make any appearance? That is why we've come to the best promoter in Ghana DJ Awards 2019. I'm not sure he's even won it once. You've won it how many?
4 times in a row.
Charlie, you have to retire. Okay, so he's won it 4 times in a row. Yeah. Best promoter of Ghanaian music. His name is DJ Advisor. He works with Happy 98.9 FM. So today, here at the premises of Happy FM, we are here to talk the real deal. Advisor, big man, a day for you. Have you seen the list? CNN top 10.
Yeah,
big. How did they call it in Pope?
They said CNN top 10 Africa's biggest music stars. That's how they put it. Yeah.
Africa's biggest music stars. Yeah. Well, let's mention them before we even start talking. Maybe someone doesn't know. From number 1, we have Burna Boy, Nigeria, Angelique Kidjo, Benin, Diamond Platnumz, Tanzania, Yemi Alade, Nigeria, Tiwa Savage, Nigeria, Wizkid, Nigeria, Mr. Easy, Nigeria, Sho Majozi, that is South Africa, Busiswa Gulu, South Africa, and Mula Musonda, that is Zambia. Musonda, that is Zambia. This is the list. I know you are asking, where is your good friend Shatta Wale? Where is your good friend Sarkodie, Stonebwoy, Samini, and it goes on like that. Boss, do you agree with this list?
Sammy, well, thank you for the opportunity. First of all, the question that I want to ask myself is, why the list? Why the need for such a list? What is the reason? What is the purpose? What is it intended to achieve? I believe when we are able to ask these questions, then probably would understand why CNN put out this list. Now, what are the
criteria?
The criteria.
That is point 1
for the selection of such a list. What research went into the selection of these artists as being the top 10 in Africa? What were the research that was done? Where are the results? Can we see it? Which platforms did they contact to get to the final list of 10 top most biggest artists in Africa? For me, maybe, just maybe, they're a news portal. They need to make news. And it's surprisingly to know that now, when it comes to music, the news is in Africa. So everybody wants to target the African market to get the talking points. So maybe that is one area they have achieved. But to tell me that this is the top 10 artists in Africa without any form of evidence,
but empirical evidence.
Was it online? Was it based on performances? Was it based on record releases? Spanning from which periods? You understand? All these are questions that comes to mind.
That is the duration in which the research was done.
Are you talking about 2019? Are you talking about, is it 2017 to 18? We need a period. So if you tell me that these are the top 10 stars in Africa, the best, so should we take it at, is it from 10 years ago? Is this spanning a decade? We need to know these things. But if you just come and put it out there that these are the top 10 stars in Africa, well, maybe for your own agenda, which you might have achieved, but for me as a Ghanaian, I wouldn't sit and accept, not because there is no Ghanaian artist, but if you are bringing out a list, what we've said should come to play. You should be fair. You should explain your criterion. Before the list even came out, was there any publication to say, okay, we are compiling this, so submit your artists, like you are gunning for an award, you know. These are the
nominations.
Nominations are open. We are doing this top 10 stars, and so let's vote across the regions or across your area of what do you call it, horoscope, and see which people would come up tops. I mean, nothing of that sort came up, and then all of a sudden we are hit by the top 10 list. So of course, for me, if you're able to prove all these things, then we'll have some credibility to discuss this list in the first place. I don't think we should waste time on it in the first place at all. They want to get the attention, and they've gotten it. Let's not waste our time. There are better things that we can do, Sammy. We're getting to Christmas. Our artists getting the gigs to play. What are they doing? The collaborations. You know, the bangers are coming in. How are we promoting it? What is the strategy? What are we doing for our artists? The young ones coming up. We have the time and the luxury to push and talk about stuff like that. But for somebody to put up a top 10 list and then it's like discussing is the biggest thing, you know. For me, it doesn't merit that attention. No, it doesn't merit that attention.
Now, advisor, let's look at this. Let's look at this this way. CNN is no mean a media platform.
Sure.
And we cannot also say that they don't have their attention on African music. Really, they do. So if they do, and they also have their own maybe definition. The fact that they did not put it out, that is agreed. But maybe they also have their own definition. If the representation is what it is, have they still gotten it wrong?
So I mean, it reminds me of, I think, some few months ago when people were bringing out the top 10 artists.
Rappers.
Or rappers.
The GOAT.
The GOATs.
The greatest of all time rappers in Ghana.
Exactly. You realize that at the point, others were also bringing a counter list because people felt that, hey, I mean, the person who started, I think, was black. Yeah, he had left some names, and some people also came out with other lists to say, okay, this person was supposed to be in there. And people were asking the questions, okay, so under what basis is this person at number 3, at number 2, even the number 1, you understand? So even Ghana, when we were choosing the artist of the decade, people had issues why Sarkodie should be voted for as the artist of the decade. And the organizers, I'm sure, had reasons, and they came out with the reasons. That, oh, looking at the decade that we are talking about, he was active musically, performance-wise, collaborations, international awards, recognitions, and those things came to play, and so they felt that he deserved to be the artist of the decade. Now, you are releasing a top 10 list for Africa. And bear in mind, we are talking about Africa, not just West Africa
or East
or
Africa.
North Africa or East Africa, the entire Africa. You understand? Recently, Afrima was held. How many of these artists in this list, if we want to use one of the biggest awards on the continent to be a yardstick, where were some of these names? You understand? So it tells me that there is a question mark with the list that I have seen.
Despite the respect that CNN has.
The fact that they are
over the
CNN
years
doesn't mean they can't get it wrong. So for me, until they come out to say that, okay, this is what we did, this is the research we conducted, or probably we gave it to this private organization to conduct the research. So our research was based on online, the streaming, various portals. It's to do with collaborations that they had, the international exposures. I mean, we looked at their pairs. You understand?
I get it.
Then we'll be having a conversation. But to leave it out like this, for me, I wouldn't want to waste so much time to discuss this list. Like you're saying, you, Xylophone, can put up a list to just generate conversation. And you will succeed because it has to do with artists, people we cherish so much in every country. Come to Ghana, we cherish our Shatta Wale, we cherish our Stonebwoy, we cherish our Sarkodie. So if there's a list that our supposed big stars are not on the African continent, it means that you get Ghanaians talking, and that is what you have achieved.
See, but advisor, in reality, if they put out, or if any organization puts out maybe their criteria for doing the top 10 musicians in Africa, do you see any of our musicians qualifying?
So I mean,
in Africa, with your vast knowledge in terms of promotion here in Ghana and beyond, and do you see any of our Ghanaian artists qualifying to be in that list?
Shatta Wale was on Beyonce's Lion King album.
Yeah.
So it tells you that alone brings some attention to the brand Shatta Wale. People in that section of the world might have heard about an artist, Shatta Wale. Sarkodie, his name is out there. He's had shows across Africa and then the world at large. I'm sure that everybody, majority of people who love music or showbiz in Nigeria, let me put it that way, might have heard about Sarkodie.
He is our latest BET.
Thank you very much. Stonebwoy, who is perceived as carrying the dancehall flag, recently won the dancehall artist at the Afrima Awards.
And he's also won it three
times on the row.
Just
that I've beaten him once. mine is 4 times in a row.
I know, right?
So then it tells you that Ghanaian artists are out there. People know them. People recognize them. Look at the collaborations that Stonebwoy has done with these dancehall artists from Jamaica. Name them. Look at Sarkodie. Across Africa, he's worked with almost some of the biggest names that we can think of. So obviously, when it comes to recognition, I mean, come on, Sammy. When Shatta Wale started the beef with the Nigerian artists, I'm sure that Nigerians were looking at who is this guy? They might have Googled his name, they might have researched and said, oh, okay, the guy is huge in Ghana. And tell me what, put any Nigerian artist here in Ghana and put Shatta Wale. I'm sure Shatta will have a sold-out concert as against any Nigerian artist in Ghana.
Okay, so now the debate comes in. In Ghana, Shatta might have a sold-out concert. When we go to South Africa, will the story be the same between Shatta and that Nigerian artist? So when we go to any of the maybe South African or East African countries, will the story also be the same?
Then I would beg to ask that, was it the criteria for the selection into the top 10? You understand? That is why these artists do collaborations, so that the other people in other African countries will know that, okay, there's a Wizkid who has done a collaboration with Sarkodie. You understand? But the moment you're not able to give me the permutations and how you were able to come up with your list, then I'll also raise questions and ask these questions of you. It's simple. I mean, take it. When Mr. Easy comes to Ghana to have a show, obviously, majority of the people who attend the concert will be Nigerians, despite the fact that some Ghanaians will be at the concert. You understand? Because there's a collaboration with Mr. Easy and some Ghanaian artists. And that is what the Nigerians are doing. I would hope that our boys would also sit down and re-strategize about how they go about with promotions. Because, I mean, don't sit in Ghana and think because music travels without passports. The people in other countries need to see who the brand advisor is.
Okay.
I'm the king in Ghana. But how about South Africa? How about Namibia? How about Togo? What am I doing for the people in Togo to see that, hey, I am big, and then I'm also transcending or crossing borders with my product by my physical appearance? That is how come when Mr. Easy is in Ghana, Ghanaians will go and watch him because he's here with us. They know him by way of collaborations with our top musicians. So that is one thing that we should learn.
Okay.
You see, let's go to the other area, which is the online and the streaming. Comparing even Nigeria and Ghana, they are more in terms of population. They are the most populous country in Africa. So for a video that will require about 1 million people to watch within a day or 3 in Nigeria, you will probably be talking about 300,000, 400,000, and we are excited because of our numbers. So in terms of numbers, they are beating our story. 2, we do not have so many millionaires who are interested to support or put their monies into showbiz to push these brands. Go to Nigeria. Chief Susu, Senator Advisor, Senator Sammy Flex, they have the money to spend and push these artists because they know the value. It's like they are exporting these, and it's a plan. They move and say, listen, let's support our boys. When we are able to break even, look at the billboards they are putting across the world. It's so beautiful. And recently, our own artist Becca, after she got married to Toby, Go to Nigeria. Becca is bigger now in Nigeria as she was before when she wasn't married to a Nigerian. Because her husband has a strategy and they know how to push their arts. You understand? So, Sammy, we also need to invest. In as much as there's a list that we do not agree with, we should also try and invest in our craft and not to sit at one place and think that we are the kings and queens and we are lording over everybody.
So all is well.
No. The music that we are in is growing. The industry is growing. Let us go out of our comfort zones and make things work. We'll be happy that at least when the Grammys came, Shatta Wale's name was there because of Beyonce.
Sure.
Manifest's name got out there because of
Burna Boy.
Aren't you excited about it? Wouldn't you also wish that now they will be mentioned as the mainstream artists and like featuring Sammy Flex, and Sammy Flex from Nigeria is also happy because he worked with Shatta Wale and he's been mentioned.
I see.
That would be great.
A great point said there by the best promoter in Ghana, that is Ghana DJ Awards. But then, if any proper list should come out, how many of our musicians would you expect them there, considering Africa?
I think Sarkodie would easily make such a list. Yes, Sarkodie would easily make such a list. That's what I'm saying. So I mean, even with this current list, if we need to edit, I'm sure you have your qualms about, for instance, let's say Angelique Kidjo. For instance, we all know who Angelique Kidjo is.
Yeah.
We know what she's done
influence,
before. Her influence.
Her impact.
But currently, is it same as it was before? Is it same as it was before? Now, if you are playing Angelique Kidjo song in Ghana, I'm sure you will go and play the old ones that you know when you are playing old funk. Is that not it? So if you are talking about current, that's why I was even making a point. Is it based on streaming? Because when you go out, I'm sure she's doing well online and with the streams. So obviously she'll be ahead.
Okay.
But is it to do with current status, popularity now, performances?
Now.
Yes, relevance now, performances, record releases, popularity of those records across Africa. I think Sarkodie would even make up the list.
Apart from Sarkodie, is there any other one?
Then I'll think of maybe a Stonebwoy before my own Shatta Wale. Because, you know, Stonebwoy has done well with some of the collaborations that he's done. I mean, take it or leave it. You understand? He's gone far. I mean, he's gone far with the works that he's done in recent times. Shatta's fans, they are loud, they are wide, but I don't think that out there, if you have to conduct a poll outside.
You mean outside Ghana?
Outside Ghana.
Okay.
That is where the issue would be, because, well, I don't know the number of Ghanaians in a particular country or wherever those polls will be held. But then you see, it is what the people hear or see that they talk about.
Okay.
The visibility. So Sarkodie is in the faces of the people.
Okay.
Stonebwoy is trying to get into the face of people. So I wish that my own Shatta would also do same, and I'll be so excited.
You think he's not there yet? Shatta is not there yet, despite the huge following he has?
Shatta has a following in Ghana.
Okay.
No doubt about that.
Okay.
But I would want to see my Shatta Wale being number one in Africa, going to other African countries. And I wish that, and this will be an advice. This will be an advice to him, and for him to take it properly, that he would even leave Ghana for like 2-3 months, station or position himself in some other African countries and make the impact. And trust me, when Shatta does that, he will conquer the entire Africa.
I see. Wow, this is what DJ Advisor thinks on the CNN top list. At least it is going to be the end of that discussion. But because he is mentioning Shatta Wale, let me ask him. He has emceed several of Shatta Wale's shows here in Ghana, especially in Accra and beyond. In case you don't know, he is. Go look for him. Let me ask him what he sees on Shatta Wale when he's on the stage.
I love his energy every time. When he's on stage, he doesn't joke. I mean, he's serious with whatever he's doing. He doesn't feel distracted, and he wouldn't want anything to distract him on stage. I mean, he knows how to carry his songs to the fans. The fans are there for him. I mean, he carries the song and then they take it away from him. So that alone, I give thumbs up to him. I mean, the energy on stage anytime Shatta comes, and even before he comes, you feel that edge, the energy that, yes, the people are still here for Shatta.
They are for him.
Yes, that is how come if you attend any show and Shatta is on the building and you are not careful, he would outrun, and if you're not careful, disgrace whoever
comes after him.
Exactly, because Shatta comes to a show and everything is Shatta Wale. We can't take it away from the brand Shatta Wale. He's blessed with that, and I know that. I mean, Shatta can still do more with what he has now. That is why I am wishing and praying that he leaves for like 3 months, station himself outside Ghana, and make
just to connect,
just to make that impact. And trust me.
But he also believes in something. In some conversations with him, I know he believes that he should not be chasing the people. He should also get to that stage where people will be chasing him like Beyonce and the team did to him. He didn't go to them, or he didn't go for them. Rather, they came to him.
Sammy, I'm sure when you go to the camp of Beyonce and you are talking to them, she will tell you that she's not had it all rosy. She didn't just get up and then she became Beyonce. Because you and I are not privy to the underground works that she's done. You and I are not privy to those days when she was hungry and had nothing on her. When she was probably trekking in the States and not even had money in her pocket. But those are the sacrificial times. So it is your brand you are building.
Okay.
I'm sure you have your experiences when you were hungry at a point in time. Maybe you never ever thought of
when you were working without salaries.
Never even thought of driving a V8 or a V12.
Bruh, tell them.
You understand? For me, I always say I've been a taxi driver before, and I'm proud because it didn't limit me. I rather saw it as a way to still pursue my dream.
Okay.
So when you get to the destination is what should be what motivating to you. You understand? So when you build a brand to a certain level, now people come and you are able to tell them that I need 500,000 to be on the stage. I need you to take care of my crew. We are about 30. And they will say, yes, we'll do that for you.
Because they know they will get a return.
Exactly.
I see. Okay, so this is a friendly advice to Shatta Wale and his team. What don't you like about him when he's on the stage?
Let me be honest. I think that being on the stage and throwing jabs, where we call like he stands on stage to insult maybe the media or other colleagues, sometimes it is heartening, and I feel that as he grows in his crafts, it's something that, I mean, he would be able to leave that behind. Sometimes I also understand Shatta knows how to do this showbiz for him. Sometimes you need to get the people talking. And so if you understand as an artist, or like in my shoes, sometimes I hear some of these things and I say, oh, I know my boy. He's not serious about what he's talking. But it's those who are hearing it, those who are taking it serious and then killing or probably wanting to make a case out of it. By he making those statements, sometimes doesn't really, he just says them and he knows that that's
so
what.
So you would wish that when he's on the stage, he doesn't do those commentaries?
If it's advice to his fans, just like what he did, the Bukum recently, when he was advising his fans that if they are smoking and probably they are even being accosted by the police, it's just plead and then, I mean, ask the police to forgive and go. But if you are arrested and you go by saying bomb Babylon, and you are arrested, for him, he will not be there to come and save you. You understand?
Oh, he said that, huh?
Yeah, that was good advice. I mean, of course, when you go and misbehave and you expect that Shatta will come and save you because you are an SM fan, no. But he's saying that make sure you don't go to town and misbehave. If you are accosted whilst you are even smoking your thing, Charlie, you can plead and you'll be left. You understand? But don't go and be shouting because there's a bomb Babylon, Babylon. Charlie, you can eat like a bomb Babylon. Eh?
That one is for Shatta Wale. Now let's come to his industry. He is a DJ of repute. In fact, high repute. He has been in the broadcast industry for a good number of years. Have you done a decade yet?
It's past a decade.
Okay, I told you. So he's done more than a decade with so many years of awards and all.